Hey everyone, it's Russell Brunson. Welcome back to module number 6 of the Funnel Builder Secrets Training Program. This is the last module. I hope you've enjoyed all the training up to this point. I hope you're logging in the members area because in there's tons of supplemental training. And same thing's true with this module. I'm going to be going over the higher end strategy for you as the entrepreneur and the business owner to understand. And then inside the members area, there'll be a lot more step-by-step tactical things on how to drive traffic from certain different traffic sources like Facebook or YouTube or things like that. But right now we're going to be talking about the strategy, things that never change. In fact, right now I'm actually in the process of writing my third book, which is called Traffic Secrets. So hopefully you had a chance to go through .com Secrets, which is the science of funnel building, Expert Secrets, which is the art of funnel building, and then Traffic Secrets is how to become a rainmaker, how to get traffic and people into your company. Because one of the big mistakes people think is like, if you build a funnel, like the movie Field of Dreams, like if you build it, they will come. And unfortunately, it's not true. You got to build it, but then you have to get people into it. So how do you get people, eyeballs, your dream customers to come into your funnels? And that's what Traffic Secrets is all about. So right now I'm going to basically teach you the overview of what is inside the book that I'm writing, but it's going to give you a really good foundation to understand traffic. Because the biggest problem I found, especially with business owners who may have traditional offline businesses or other ways, maybe they're selling things on Amazon or they've got a brick and mortar store, things like that, is when they look at traffic online, it's like this mystery, right? Like, well, I log into Facebook and I'm going to do something and then people will show up, or I'm going to go into Google or things like that. And I think a lot of times there's a lot of complexity built into traffic. And the reality is traffic is really simple, especially when you understand the higher end strategy of it. So I really want you guys to understand the strategy of it because that's the key. And after you understand the strategy, you can go and learn the tactics. You can hire the tactics out, but you really have to understand the core strategy because when you do that, it becomes really, really easy. In my situation, I'm someone who understands the strategy well, but I don't know how to do the tactics. I don't know how to log into Facebook and run ads or Google and run ads. Like, you don't have to know how to do those things. There's people you can hire to do that, but you do have to understand the strategy. The reason why we're able to spend over $500,000 a month on ads right now is because I understand the strategy, and I have people who can actually do the actual tactical driving of the traffic. But the strategy is the key. So that's my goal with this training module, is for you guys to understand that. And again, if you want to get into the tactics, go in the members area. Those things are in there. A bunch of training videos you can give your team or someone on, if you want to train someone in your team, or if you want to understand it better, you can go watch those. But right now we're talking about this, because this is the part that I love. And I hope when you understand this, you'll be like, oh, that's it. That's the magic's done, right? It's like the magician who you always seen him pull like a rabbit out of his hat. You're like, that's amazing. And I'm just gonna be like, this is how the trick actually works. It's really simple when you get it. Okay, so that's the game plan. All right, so a couple foundational things I want you to understand. When you understand these, it becomes, again, everything becomes really simple. So the first thing you have to understand is that a lot of people think like, how do I go and how do I create traffic? And the key you have to understand is you don't have to create traffic. Traffic's already there, right? Like if I look online and I'm looking, in fact, I'm gonna draw this. You'll see my actual art skill. So this is the stream, right? And there's water going down the stream, right? And what's happening is that a lot of us are coming over here and we're like, on the outside and right, okay, how do I get traffic? And you're trying to figure out how do I get people to come to me? And the reality is people are already there. They're already online. They're already on Facebook. They're on YouTube. They're on Instagram. They're listening to podcasts. They're doing all this stuff anyway. So you don't have to go and create traffic. All you do is figure out where's the stream of traffic that has all these people already coming. And then you just got to go and get yourself out in front of it, right? Like let's just say this river's got a bunch of fish in it, right? And the fish are going along this thing. And people are like, well, how do I get traffic? How do I catch these fish? Well, you go to where the fish are at and you throw a fishing pole in here with a hook on it, okay? Which comes back to, we talked about module 2, hook, story, offer. Like I'm literally I gotta find where's the stream of traffic that's already there, and I gotta throw a hook in the water, and I can start pulling fish out. That's it, okay? So traffic, you don't have to create traffic. You're just identifying where's that traffic at, and then how do I get my hook out in front of it, okay? If you can understand that, like that's as complex as it needs to be, okay? All right, so that's the first thing I want you to understand. Like when I understood that, then it took a lot of the mystery away from me. It wasn't like, okay, how do I magically get these people to show up? It's just like they're already there. Probably the first time I really got this was when I was in college. I wrestled at Boise State University, and it's funny because all the student athletes, most of us weren't like the best students, and so they had mandatory study hall for us. So we had to go like 2 hours of study hall every single night, so we wouldn't fail out of school, so we can continue to wrestle. And so every single night after dinner, all the wrestlers would go to the study lab, and we're in this huge computer lab, and we're supposed to be doing our homework. And it was interesting. I remember looking around, and I saw all of the wrestlers were on the same website I was on, and it was, at the time, it was called themat.com, and it was a website for all the wrestlers in the world to talk about wrestling. And we're in there talking about who's winning in matches and tournaments, and who our favorite pick was for the Olympics coming up, and NCAAs and all these things. And I looked around, and every single wrestler in my university was all on themat.com talking. And I started thinking, I bet that every university around the country and probably around the world, all the wrestlers were on the same website every single night, right? So if I was selling wrestling products, I don't have to go out there like, how am I going to get traffic? How am I going to get people to show up? It's like, where are all of the wrestlers already at? Where's that stream of traffic? Where are they already sitting? And that's going to, and if I was selling wrestling products at the time, I would have gone to themat.com and I would put a banner ad with a really good hook that says like, hey, get free wrestling shoes or something like that. And all the wrestlers would see it, they would click on it, and boom, I set the hook, and now I can pull those people into what I'm doing. Okay, and that's literally what it is. I'm identifying where is traffic already at. Okay, it's on themat.com, it's on facebook.com, it's on this email list, it's over on this blog. Like, where's it already at? And I'm figuring out how can I get in front of it and throw my hooks out there to start grabbing these people. Okay, grab the hook, tell the story, make the offer, boom. That's the magic. That's all you really have to understand for funnel building. Okay, all right. So with that said, the next piece that I want to explain, and we talked about this a little bit in .com Secrets, you probably understand this, is basically there's 3 types of traffic, okay? So there's 3 types of traffic, okay? So the first type of traffic, this is traffic that you control, okay? So traffic I control. So for example, let's say I go to Facebook, right? Now I don't own traffic on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, he owns it, right? That's all his traffic, all the people there, those are his people. He owns that traffic. But what he does, he rents that to people like us. So we can go to Facebook and I can buy an ad and I can control that traffic. And I say, okay, traffic here, if someone clicks on my banner ad or my video or whatever, they see my hook and they click on it, where do I want to control them? Where do I want to send them to, right? So I send them somewhere. So there's the traffic I can control, okay? The second type of traffic is traffic you don't control. So I don't control it. Sometimes it's also called earned traffic. I have to earn it. E-A-R. I earn this traffic, right? So for example, let's say I get on TV somewhere, or I'm on a podcast, and when I'm on the podcast, the person interviewing me says my name and they're like, hey, it's Russell Brunson. You should go to russellbrunson.com and see his site. Like I didn't control that traffic, but I earned it. I was doing these things and I earned that traffic, and it gets sent somewhere, right? Or maybe I'm writing blog posts, I'm submitting articles, I'm doing stuff, right? I get PR, I'm doing things out there, and I don't control that traffic, but I earn it and I get that traffic as well. So there's traffic I control and there's traffic I don't control. Okay? Now both of these traffic are coming from different streams, right? For example, here's the stream right here of Facebook. So there's your water and there's your fish right here. So say this is the Facebook stream. Now on Facebook, I can do 2 things, right? I can control traffic. I can buy ads, throw my hook out there and grab these people and pull them somewhere. Or I can do things where maybe I'm going into a Facebook page and I'm commenting and giving people advice, and I'm not controlling, but I earn that. Someone clicks on my profile, they see who I am, and then they come and I can send them somewhere, right? So Facebook is one stream of traffic. Maybe YouTube is another one. Maybe your favorite blog is another one, right? But there's all these different traffic sources out there. Here's some water on these little streams, and then I'm coming through and I can buy ads to control it, or I can do cool things to earn that traffic. Now, my goal of both traffic that I control and traffic I don't control is, as quick as possible, I want to turn it into traffic that I own. Okay, this is the big secret, you guys. I want to turn this traffic into traffic that I own. Okay, now if you look at almost every funnel, when I am going to these sources and I'm buying ads or I'm earning traffic, I'm sending them into a funnel. And what's the first step of almost every funnel? If you go through .com Secrets or Expert Secrets or the Funnel Hacker Cookbook, almost every single funnel, the very first page, I'm asking somebody to give me their email address in exchange for something, right? I take them through a squeeze page, a webinar registration page, an application page, a free plus shipping offer. I'm always asking, trying to get someone's contact information as soon as possible, right? As soon as they give me their contact information, this person right here, I'll circle them in red. I bought an ad, they saw my hook, they came over here, I asked for the name and the email address, they gave me the email address, now I own this person. I now control this traffic, right? This is somebody whose name is on my email list or whatever it might be, right? Now I own that traffic. okay? And so I buy ads over here and I keep doing that, and my goal is to keep continuing to grow this thing. So I keep getting these people to come from all these sources that I don't own and become traffic that I do own, okay? And so I'm gonna continue to keep doing this and try to build up my list of people, okay? This right here is the holy grail. This is the big secret of internet marketing, you guys. If I can tell you one thing of understanding this, if I own traffic, it changes everything, okay? The asset in every one of your businesses, that's the most valuable asset in the world, is your customer list. There's nothing more valuable. If you look at big companies, they get sold, they get bought, right? Like when Facebook offered, I think $6 billion for Snapchat. Why did they do that? Snapchat made $0. What did Snapchat had? It had customers, had attention, had people. That was the asset of Snapchat, okay? When Facebook did buy Instagram, same thing. It's because Instagram had the asset. When eBay bought Skype, why did they buy Skype? They could have easily, eBay could have knocked off the technology. It wasn't difficult to do, but they wrote them a check for billions of dollars because they had all of the eyeballs, the people. They owned all of the attention of those people, okay? So for you, this is the big key. Now, in my business, and every business is different, but it's kind of put this in perspective. On average, for every single person that's on my email list, they come through my funnels, they give me their name and their email address. This person at the low end, on average, is worth, I'll put a little dollar here, is worth $1 per month per name. Okay, so what does that mean? When I first started my business, I was driving people into my squeeze page or through one of my funnels, and they were joining my list. When I had 1,000 people on my list, I was making about $1,000 a month. When I had 5,000 people on my list, I was making $5,000 a month. When I had 10,000 on my list, I was making $10,000 a month. When I had 50,000 on my list, I was making $50,000 a month. 100,000 on my list, 100,000 a month, million on my list, million a month, and it's gone on from there. Okay, so that's like, hopefully it gets you excited. Now this is the low bar. Like, if you do things poorly, you should average $1 per name per month for each name on your email list. Okay, so that's, if you understand that, then your goal should be like, how do I go to Facebook and how can I spend money to get somebody to come and join my funnel? Now they're on my list, and I know I'm going to average, on the worst case scenario, $1 per name per month on my email list. Right? This becomes the focus of everything I'm doing is driving traffic to my funnel to get those people on my own list. Okay, so those are the numbers kind of for my business. Now, for your business, it could be completely different. I have a friend who owns a gym, and he was a personal trainer for me for about 4 or 5 years. And I remember talking to him about all this kind of stuff, and he was like, "Well, I run a gym, Russell. I don't have a list." I said, "You don't?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "I think you do." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, how many people have come in here in the past for a consultation, or they used to be clients and they left, and like, what does that look like?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, I call that a dead file. It's clients that used to have that no longer are active." And I said, go back tonight, and I want you to go back to your old dead files and all your old contacts, everyone who's ever come in this place, and see how many people you actually have on a list. So he went back and he did all the math and added it all up. And he came back during my next training session. He said, "Well, I have about 450 people that have come in that have their contact information." I was like, "You have a list of 450 people?" And I kind of told him my metrics. He's like, "Well, I'm going to make $450 a month. That's not really worth my time." I said, "Well, you understand, this is like in my type of business was 100% online. For an offline business, that $1 per name usually jumps a lot up. Like for some people, it's $10 per name per month. Some people, it's 50, 100, like it goes up." And I said, "But the key is you have a list, like you have a customer list. That's the most valuable asset in your company is that." And he's like, "Well, how do I use it?" I said, "Well, all these people, they worked out through at one time in their life, but they're not anymore." I said, "Why did they leave?" He said, "Some people it's money, some people they lost the way, other things like that." And I said, "Okay, let's make an email. Let's write an email to this list of 450 people." And the subject line said, just something like, "Are you fat again?" ? And it says, the email's like, "Hey, this is so-and-so, and like, it's been a while since I've seen you. I know you had a chance to come to the gym, and it was awesome getting to know you. And, one of the jokes we have in the gym when we don't see people again is either they're super ripped and in shape, or they've gotten fat. And if you're ripped and in good shape, congratulations. Maybe you want to come back in and work out with us. We'd love to help you get to the next level. Or if you have gotten fat again, why don't you give us a call? We can get you back on the routine we had in the past, and let's help you lose weight." He sent that email out to his list of like 450 people, and the capacity of his gym overnight completely filled back up. Like that customer list like filled up his gym at capacity. Okay, that's the magic of a list. So now in my world, the way it works a little different is I don't have a gym with people I'm filling up, but what happens if I have a new book coming out or new product or new service or new webinar or something? I can go to Facebook and spend money driving ads, which I will do, but at the same time, I can go and I can send an email out to my list of 1 million people. If I send it out to 1 million people, I might not get everybody to sign up. What if I get 1,000 people to sign up or 5,000 people to sign up? Like that's magic. That's the goal. Okay, so I want you guys to remember that as we're going through here is like, the goal of all of this whole traffic thing is taking traffic that I control, so these are ads that I'm paying for, and then traffic I don't control, traffic that I earn, and converting that into traffic that I own. Okay? Because this is the stability, this is the true worth of your company. Okay? Is the customer list that you have. Okay? And that's what funnels do, is they take all of the masses out here and they turn them into your people. And if you follow the expert secrets process I walked you guys through, now they build relationships with you, they like you, and when you do that, the value of each customer goes up. Okay? Instead of earning $1 per month, if people like you and they get along with you, this goes to $2 and $3 and $5 and $10 and so on from there. Okay? So that's kind of the 3 types of traffic that I wanted you guys to really understand. So if you look at this, all this funnel building stuff that we're talking about, everything you've been learning about funnels, like the goal of a funnel, like if you look at like when it comes down to it, the number one goal of a funnel is to convert traffic from out here that you control or you earn and turn it into traffic you own. Like that's it. That's my goal of a funnel. And then I have the customers, now I can take them into other funnels where the second time doesn't cost me any money, right? The first time, let's say I run a Facebook ad over here and I pay Mark Zuckerberg, and sometimes I might pay him $3 to $5 to get somebody to come over here to my and to give me their email address, right? So it costs me, let's say $3 to get this person on my list, but now I make $1 per month for the next 12 months or the next year or 5 years from that person. Now I spent $3, but I made $15. Like it's arbitrage, right? That's the magic what we're doing. You're spending money over here to acquire a customer, and then if you treat them well, you'll make more money from them as they're now your customers. And so the second funnel I come out with, I don't have to go buy ad again to get this person. I already have them. Now I can just send them to the new funnel, and all that money is pure profit. Okay? In the .com Secrets book, remember we talked about value ladder? If you haven't yet, go back and listen to that. But value ladder is this thing, right, where we're taking somebody and we're sending them up this value ladder, right? So what happens typically is when I'm driving traffic initially, I'm taking somebody to a low-end offer where it's going to be not that expensive, where I'm getting them to pay, shipping for a book, or I'm trying to get them to register for a webinar, something where the value is low, but the price of it's really low, right? So if you have your little chart right here, this is value up high. This is values over here on this one. This is price, right? Let me erase that for you. So this is price. So I'm driving my traffic down here where the price is really, really low. I offer them something here, and what happens is someone buys my book and they read it and they're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. I got a lot of value and the price was low. What happens naturally as human beings, when we get value from somebody, we want more, okay? We naturally want more, and so what happens is that we look at that and say, well, what else do they have? And we start naturally sending up. So then we go to the second funnel, which maybe, let's say this one's a free book funnel, right? Then they send it to the second funnel, which now, let's say this is a webinar. Now I don't have to pay to get them on the webinar. They come here, and at the end of the webinar, I sell a $2,000 product. And if they like it and they get more value, like this is amazing, then they naturally want to send up to the next level, where then I can sell them my next product. And this might be a $10,000 coaching program, or it might be whatever it is for your business, okay? So .com Secrets will explain the value ladder, but this is how the whole thing works. I spend money to acquire a customer at the bottom of the value ladder, and then everything afterwards is pure profit. And that's the magic of how all these concepts we've been talking about, how they kind of tie together, okay? So if you want more info on the value ladder, again, go deep into .com Secrets. That's where we really cover that in a lot of detail. Okay. All right, so now you're kind of looking at this and understanding this is the game we're playing. My question for you is look back and say, okay, who has my traffic, right? Facebook's got my traffic, YouTube, my favorite blog, my favorite podcast, like, who's got my traffic? That's the next question you gotta start asking yourself. Who has my traffic? I'm gonna explain this in a real world example I think a lot of you guys will understand. So think about Hollywood, right? So when Hollywood has a new movie that comes out, what do? Okay, so a new movie's coming out, let's say it's a Ben Affleck movie or Arnold Schwarzenegger, it doesn't matter, whoever it is, right? So the movie's coming out, and then they say, okay, we have to get people, we have to get traffic to come to this movie, right? So how do we get people to come to this movie? They're following these exact same process. They say, okay, well, who's got our customers? And they say, okay, well, I know that every single night Jimmy Fallon's on The Tonight Show, and he's got all of our customers. He's got 10 million people every night watching his show. Okay, so the movie producer said, okay, there's 2 ways we can get on that show. Number one is we can earn our way in, where we actually get an interview. So let's get our best actress movie. Let's get Ben Affleck to come, or let's get whoever to come and actually be on the show and be interviewed, right? So it doesn't cost them any money to get that person on the show, but this is traffic they're earning. They send the person there to the show. They're on Jimmy Fallon. They talk about the show. They show a highlight from the movie, and they say, go watch the movie this weekend, right? All these customers see it on TV, and then they go to the show to go and actually watch the show. Okay, so that's how a movie comes out. That's how they earn traffic. But at the same time, maybe they say, well, we know that our dream customers are watching Jimmy Fallon tonight, so let's get so and so on. But then let's pay for a commercial at the same time. So I go and I pay for a commercial during the Tonight Show, and then people see that commercial, and I'm buying that person. I'm controlling that traffic and getting them to come to my movie as well. Okay? Same thing could be the Good Morning America or the Today Show or whatever. But if you look at any movie that comes out, what happens? They take the stars and they put them on this circuit where they're going talk show after talk show after talk show, earning traffic to get people to come to the movie. And then they're going to those same networks and they're buying ads on the shows that they know are similar to the shows that are similar to the movie. And that's how they fill the movie. Okay? So that's all it is, you guys. So for you guys, it's the exact same thing. Is I got to come back here and say, okay, who's got my traffic? Okay? Let's just say for you, you're selling a product in the weight loss market, right? So I might go to the podcasts and say, okay, I know that a lot of people who want to lose weight listen to podcasts. So I go in the podcast category, I look at the top 10 or top 50 weight loss podcasts, and look at that and say, okay, here's all the shows. Like, let's say this is Jillian Michaels' show, and this is so-and-so's show, and here's all these different podcast shows that are on. Say, okay, I want to sell my new podcast, or I want to sell my new weight loss ebook, or my new nutritional shake, or whatever. Now I've got two things to do. Number one is I can go and I can earn traffic, right? So what that means is I go on and see if I can get Jillian Michaels to interview me. So I might call and see if I can get on the show. She may say no. So I go to the second show. Can I get on your show? Maybe say no. Maybe third or fourth. Someone down here maybe say, yeah, I'll have you on my show. So you jump on the show that you interviewed and you earn that traffic. And now you can send that person, because on the show they say, well, tell me more about yourself today. Well, I'm gonna have this new supplement coming out over at russellscoolsupplement.com. You guys go check it out. And I send them to a funnel. And I've earned the traffic from there, right? So I'm going to try to go and earn traffic at these different spots. But then maybe I can't get on Jillian Michaels' show. Maybe she's not going to interview me. So let's say, okay, well, can I go and buy an ad on her show? I know she sells ads on her show. I come back, so maybe she won't interview me, but let me buy a 60-second ad that says, hey, for a new supplement, go to russellsawesomesupplement.com, and then I buy an ad. Okay, so I'm buying an ad now, and then I get people to come back through. Okay? So for me, it's always figuring out who has my traffic, and then say I got two things to do. I need to go figure out how can I go and buy ads in front of those people. There's a stream of people. I need to throw my ad, throw my hook out there to grab the person and bring them into my funnel, right? And over here, it's like, or can I earn my way in? Can I get on the show for free and do an interview or something, and then I can set my hooks and bring people back in? Okay, this comes back to hook, story, offer, right? It's all about finding who's got my traffic, and I'm gonna go back there, set a hook, and I'm going to do it by buying an ad or by trying to earn my way on by providing content to them. I set the hook and I bring them back into my funnel. They join my list and boom, now they're my traffic. Now I own that traffic. Now every time I have a new promotion, I can send an email to my list and boom, I send that traffic to that new funnel, or send them to my new webinar, or send them to my new application funnel, or send them to whatever funnel I have. But that's the big secret, you guys. Okay? All right, so let me come back, and now you kind of see the higher view of this. I'm going to break it down to a spot that's really the key to this. So the concept I want to teach you guys right now is called the Dream 100. Now I learned this concept initially from one of my friends named Chet Holmes. He passed away a few years ago, but he wrote a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And in that book, there's a chapter called the Dream 100, and it's a really powerful strategy. He taught it for a different purpose, but when you guys understand this, you'll see how this works for you guys. It's really, really powerful. So what he taught it was, he worked for Charlie Munger, running one of his magazines. And I guess the magazine at the time in his industry was like the bottom, the magazine making the least amount of money. And so he had a bunch of salespeople trying out, they're going to sell ads and a bunch of stuff. And Chet came in to kind of help these guys to grow the company. He's like, what are you guys doing? They're like, well, we're trying to sell ads to all these people. And Chet's like, well, let's be smart about this. He said, let's look at all the magazines in our industry and like, who are the top 100 advertisers in the entire industry? So we went through and said, okay, based on who's spending the most money down the least, here are the top 100. He said, okay, now we have our Dream 100 list. What I want to do is I want to aggressively market to those people, because these are the people spending all the money, so let's market directly to them. So he set up a Dream 100 campaign. We started marketing aggressively to all the advertisers. And so he he started sending direct mail and calling them on the phone and do all sorts of stuff. Within like 3 or 4 months, he had closed 0 of the Dream 100. But within like 6 months, he had like 2 or 3 people said yes. And within a year, he'd gone from being the bottom magazine in the industry to being the top. He had all the top advertisers now buying advertising in his magazine, and it grew to be the biggest. Now, he did the same thing when he wrote a screenplay, and he wanted to go get it published by Hollywood. He's like, I can try to sell the screenplay or whatever. He's like, I don't know how Hollywood works. I'm gonna do the Dream 100 strategy. So we said, okay, who are all the potential actors, producers, directors who could make this dream a reality? And he made a list of 100 people and said, okay, now I'm gonna aggressively market to these people. So he started going out there and sending out letters and calling them on the phone and doing all sorts of marketing to these people. And eventually one of the people he was marketing to ended up picking it up, turning it into a movie, and his screenplay became a real thing. And so that's kind of the concept behind the Dream 100. Now for me, I use the Dream 100 a little bit differently, and this is what I want you guys to understand, because this is where all the traffic comes from, okay? My Dream 100 are, who are the 100 people that have my dream customers on their list already? Okay, they already own traffic. Who are the 100 people who own my dream list that I can go and either earn a spot to get in front of this audience, to get them to come to my funnel, or I can buy ads and get them in front of my funnel as well. Okay, does that make sense? So what I start doing when I do my Dream 100 list is, first off, I break it down into different categories, okay? And so, for example, I talked about earlier, there's podcasts. Okay, so podcasts are one channel, okay? Next might be people that have big email lists, okay? Next might be people that have big Facebook followings. Next might be people with big Instagram followings. Next, YouTube channels with big followings, right? And so I can do this with a bunch of different things. I can do it with bloggers, okay? And so I do that, I write out like the different categories, right? Okay, and then my goal is to go back through and say, okay, who are all the podcasts that have my dream customers on it? Okay, so I'll come back and say, okay, number 1 is so-and-so, number 2 is so-and-so. So it's really easy. You just go to iTunes, go to your category and start searching for all the podcasts on your topic. Okay, there might be 10, there might be 20, it might be 50, it might be 100, depending on what market you're in. Okay, some are gonna be huge, some are gonna be really, really small. Okay, but I'm gonna list as many of those people as I can. Okay, number 2, I'm gonna say, okay, who are all the people that have email lists of my dream customers? Okay, now if you're in your market, hopefully you know who your competitors and your customers and people who are selling similar products and services to you are. I'm gonna go out there, excuse me, so maybe I sell a supplement line. I'm gonna find people that sell information products, that if someone buys this information product, they'd also wanna buy my supplement. Like it matches, it's a good congruent partnership, right? And I'm gonna go out there and say, okay, who are all the people that have big email lists? I'm gonna do a bunch of research and try to find those people, okay? And it takes a little while sometimes, you gotta do some searching. I might go into Google and type in weight loss email list, or type join my weight loss newsletter, or join my piano playing newsletter. And I've been Googling things to try to find people that have email lists. Like if I wanted to get on someone's email list for like how to play piano, what would my customer have to search to find that? I'm gonna go try to find those people, find my competitors, right? Same thing on Facebook. Let's say, again, let's go back to piano lessons example. If you're doing piano lessons, I go and search Facebook for piano lessons and find all the Facebook pages and the Facebook groups that teach piano lessons, or teach guitar music, or teach gospel music, or just different things that I know people that would buy my product would also be interested in, okay? And I do that on all these different platforms. And eventually my goal is to try to build out a list of 100 people that have my dream customers. So it might be 20 podcasters, 20 email lists, maybe I find 5 on Facebook, 10 on Instagram, whatever it is, but I'm building out a list of Dream 100, okay? And so that's what I'm trying to do here is building out that thing. And then when I look at that, and I'll kind of hold it real quickly here for these other ones just so you guys have, if anyone watches this video and jumps in the middle, they have context what I'm talking about, right? We do it for Instagram, we do it for YouTube, and we build out this list. Now, one thing I might stress for you guys is the one thing I've seen people get overwhelmed with Dream 100 is they try to do all of these things. I would probably pick like a channel that you're most comfortable with, right? And start there and do one first before you go do all of them. So like if you're someone who loves listening to podcasts, like do this with podcasters and go and that way you can subscribe to all the podcasts, you can listen to them, you can like find out who you like, and you can get to know people and stuff like that. Okay, if you hate podcasts, be like, I love Facebook, I'm on Facebook all day long, do your Dream 100 in Facebook. If you're not really a Facebook person but you love YouTube, do it in YouTube. If you love reading blogs, do it in blog. Like pick the channel that you spend the most time in anyway, because it's going to be easier. You're going to understand how to communicate with your Dream 100 in that spot better, okay? So now I've got these things built out. So now my job is basically, there's 2 things I can do, okay? Number 1 is I'll write in here, number 1 is I can buy my way in, which oftentimes is easier. Okay, that means I'm going to go back here to this podcast and be like, okay, Jillian Michaels' podcast is awesome. Can I buy ads on her podcast? Can I buy my way in? okay? And somewhere, if you contact her or her show, go to the website or go somewhere, there's gonna be a link that says, hey, this is how you buy ads. And you can know that ahead of time. If you're listening to Jillian Michaels' podcast, like, does she have ads? She has ads every single episode. Cool. I know she sells ads. Let me go buy my way in. Let me find out how to buy ads on that thing, okay? If there's ads running on there, I mean, she sells ads. Go and do it. And listen to podcasts 2 and 3 and 4. Listen to all these podcasts and be like, which ones allow me to buy ads? Sometimes people will have a podcast without ads, which means so far they haven't been able to sell any. Sometimes those are the best ones to do it. Go to those people and say, hey, I noticed you don't sell ads, but I would love to buy an ad from you. Can I buy an ad from you? A lot of times you can buy an ad from someone who's never sold ads before. It's a really good thing. Okay, so number 1 is to buy my way in, or number 2 is to work my way in. Number 2 is to work my way in, right? So how do I work my way in? This is where I have to go earn an interview. So I go back to Jillian Michaels' podcast, like, hey, how can I get her to let me be on the podcast? Okay, and maybe it's just like, oh, I send her a speaker reel, or maybe I call her on the phone, maybe I send her a gift, whatever it is, like, you have to work your way in to get on the show, okay? I guarantee when they want to get Ben Affleck on Oprah, it's not just a simple thing. Like, there are PRs and people trying to get on those shows, right? Same thing for you. If you want to get on the podcast, I'd hire someone on your team and say, okay, your job is to get me on this podcast. Call them on the phone, send them gifts in the mail. Like, follow Chet's Stream 100 strategy, because getting on one podcast can get a ton of people over here, okay? Because again, that podcast owner owns their following. I remember when I launched this .com secrets book, I did the Stream 100 campaign. I had a list of the top probably 50 different podcasts in my industry, and I sent a copy of the book, a pre-release copy, to all these people. And I said, hey, I'd love to be on your podcast. And the reality is almost all of them said no, but I had 2 or 3 that said yes. And one of them that said yes was a guy named John Lee Dumas, JLD. His podcast is called Entrepreneur on Fire. I sent him a copy of the book with a letter saying, hey, I'd love to be on the podcast, love to have you read the book. He got that package in the mail. He read the book and he was like, this book is amazing. He messaged me, he's like, dude, I love your book. I'm like, great to meet you. I love your podcast. That's awesome. And because I'd listened to his podcast, I was able to communicate with him. We became friends really quickly. And then when I launched the book, he went and promoted it to his huge following of tens of thousands of listeners. And he ended up selling 500 or 600 copies of my book for me, and I had 3,000 or 4,000 people to my list. And from that one person saying yes, dramatically grew my business, okay? And that's the magic. Like, not everyone's gonna say yes, but a percentage will. So I'm gonna go try to buy ads, or I'm gonna try to get on the shows here in the podcasting. Now, email might be different. Same thing, email, I can go to someone and say, hey, do you sell ads in your email list? Or hey, can you do an affiliate promotion? Will you promote this product and we'll split the money 50-50? Or there's a lot of ways to go and to buy your way in. Or number 2, you can work your way in and have them actually, the affiliate thing's more working your way in, like has to have them send an email out to their list to sell your product, and you split the money 50-50. That's like, in the email world, that's the same kind of thing, okay? Buying your way in would be buying just an ad from them. Facebook's the same thing. When I launched the Expert Secrets book, guess what I did? I thought about the whole talk show model that we talked about earlier. I said, you know, if I was like a real famous author, I would just go and I'd be on the Today Show and CNN and CNBC, and I would be on the talk show circuit. But I'm a small entrepreneur. I don't have, the ability to get on the shows as easily. So I said, well, instead, I'm gonna go to Facebook and find out who are the people that have huge followings, huge Facebook fan pages. Okay, so I did that, and what I did is I found and built a Dream 100 list. Here's all the Facebook fan pages that have a lot of people on them, and I started contacting them. And luckily for me, I had some relationships, but I started trying to work my way in. And eventually I got Tony Robbins, and I'd been working for 10 years trying to work my way in to a relationship with Tony Robbins. I said, hey, Tony, I have my new book coming out. Could you do an interview on your fan page? And he said, sure, Russell, I'd love to. I was like, are you kidding me? So we did an interview on his fan page. Over 3.5 million people saw that. 3.5 million people saw my interview. I worked my way with Tony Robbins. He interviewed me on his fan page. 3.5 million people saw that. Thousands of books were sold. Now all these people became my customers. Now I can sell them other products and services. I can sell them ClickFunnels. I can sell them this training. I can sell them all sorts of things, because now this is traffic that I own. And the same thing, I got Grant Cardone. Okay, he did a Facebook interview with me on his Facebook page of 2 or 3 million people, and I earned my way into there, and then boom, all these people came over. Now the other thing that's kind of cool about Facebook that I love is not only did Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins and other people interview me on their pages, so I earned my traffic. Facebook also lets you go and say, hey, I want to show my ad to everyone who follows Tony Robbins. I want to show my ad to everyone who follows Grant Cardone. I want to show my ad to everyone who follows Oprah. And you can literally just say, show my ad to my Dream 100. So even if that person never responds to my calls, never will acknowledge that I exist, I can still buy ads and show my ad to all their people. Okay, so if I know that this book will sell really well to Grant Cardone's office, all I'm doing is come back here and say, okay, what's the hook? Okay, this comes back to module 2. What's the hook, the story, and the offer I need to make that would get Grant Cardone's people to listen? Okay, well, because Facebook let me buy ads directly there, I can buy my way in. So I go into Facebook and I go and I buy an ad. I say, show this ad to everyone in Grant Cardone's people, and then my ad can say something like, hey, have you already 10x your sales with Grant? How would you like to be able to 10x your sales again through a sales funnel? Click here to get a free book to show you exactly how to 10x your company again, or whatever it is, right? That hook's going to speak directly to what color marker can I use? Directly to his audience, right? And then for Tony Robbins' audience, I can create a different ad that speaks to Tony's audience, then a different ad. So all my Dream 100s, I'm buying ads directly to them, okay? This is one of the biggest things that have happened in the future of internet marketing is that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube allows you to go and actually just buy ads to your Dream 100, even if they don't know who you are. Okay. In fact, all my competitors, guess what? They buy ads on my name. So if you follow me, you're going to see all my competitors' ads because Facebook allows them to do that. Instagram allows them to do that. Okay. So that's kind of the concept. You guys, you understand the strategy? All I'm doing is I'm building out my Dream 100, my podcast, and I'm going to go attack that and see how can I buy my way in? What ads can I buy in the podcast network to get people to come to my funnel? How can I work my way in? How can I get interviewed on these podcasts to get people to my funnel? So I can change it from traffic I control and traffic I don't control into traffic that I own. Okay. Then I go email list. Where are all the email lists in there? How can I buy my way in? Can I buy ads on these different email lists in my Dream 100? Okay. If not, can I get them to promote? Can we be partners and they promote it? And we split the money 50-50. Okay. So I do it control and not control and turn it into traffic I own. Now these people become my customers. Then I go to Facebook. Here's my Dream 100. I'm going to go buy ads directly into all of my Dream 100. So everyone, all the following of my Dream 100 sees my ads, and if I can get them to also actively promote me, if I can work my way and get them to do an interview with me or whatever, boom, that's gonna happen. Instagram's the same thing. This person's got 3 million following, cool. I'm gonna buy my way and then buy ads to those people. Let me see if I can work my way in and get those people to promote me directly. YouTube, I'm gonna go and buy ads directly in YouTube. For my Dream 100, I'm gonna find my Dream 100 inside of YouTube. Here's all of the channels with the biggest followings. I'm going to buy ads directly into those videos, and then I'm going to try to work my way in and do a partnership to get them on promoting as well. Same thing with blogs. Here's the most biggest blogs in my industry. I'm going to see if I can go buy ads on those blogs, and if not, I'm going to see if I can work my way in and see if I can get them to go and write articles about me. Okay? That's the game, you guys. That's it. It's not more difficult than that. Okay? I'm finding the existing streams of traffic. Okay? And they're everywhere. I'm finding them, and then I'm looking, okay, how do I buy my way in? Can I buy ads in those streams of traffic? Okay, can I work my way in? Can I get those guys to promote me for free? And sometimes I can get one, sometimes I can get the other, sometimes I can get both, but I'm trying all of them all the time, okay? And a lot of these things I'll never get access to, but man, I got one JLD to say yes, hundreds of books sold. I got one Tony Robbins to say yes, thousands of books sold. I got one person over here, okay? It doesn't take a lot, it's a numbers game. In my Dream 100, I might get 10 that say yes to actually let me work my way in, and I may be able to go buy ads on like 50% of them, but from that I can build a multi-million-dollar a year company, okay? So I'm doing this, setting up, finding my Dream 100, finding where my existing customers are already at. I'm gonna try to buy my way in, try to work my way in, I convert that in traffic that I own, and now I own this. This becomes the asset of your business. This is the focal point. People always ask me, like, Russell, what's, like, for your company, what's your KPI, what's your key performance indicator, what are you focusing on? And this is the number. How many people are on my list? Okay, the bigger my list gets, the more money I make. Like this is it. That's the magic. Okay, and so you guys understand that. Like that's all you got to figure out. Now, obviously, if you're buying your way, you want to be profitable. I'm gonna buy an ad, drive traffic here, and see if I'm able to break even, if I'm able to make money down here on the bottom of the value ladder, right? So, for example, when I buy ads to Grant Cardone's audience, right, or Tony Robbins, on average in Facebook, it costs me about $20 to sell one of these books. Okay, so it's cost me $20, and then here, this is my front end, my tripwire funnel. I upsell a course and a couple other things, and I usually end up making about $35 to $40. So I spend 20, I make 40, so in my pocket I net $20 in the bottom rung, right? So it's profitable, and then I send them up to the next value ladder, which is everything here is 100% profit. And then the next thing I sell them is 100% profit. Anything I sell them after this point, I get to keep all the money. Okay, like that's the secret of how this whole game is played. Now, if I go over here and I buy it out on Facebook and I spend $60 to sell a book, and then I only make $30 in the funnel, that ad didn't work. So I'm going to run it for a little bit and I'll turn it off. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try a different ad. Maybe just Grant Cardone's people hate me. Maybe he did a podcast and said Russell's horrible, don't buy anything from him, and my ads aren't going to work to Grant. So okay, let's move to Tony Robbins. Let's move to Jillian Michaels. Let's move to, again, whoever the influencers are inside of your market for your business, and we're going to go buy ads directly to those people. But that's it, you guys. That's how we do it. Now, for you guys, what I would stress, okay, what I would focus on for you right now is up to this point, you've been focusing on building out your own funnel, right? This is what we talked about the first 5 modules is the science of this thing. What's the page structure? What type of funnel we're using, right? If you look at module 1, we talked about 7 different funnel types. Pick one of them, and you're going to create that right here, okay? And then module number 4, we talked about the art, like, hey, what's the copy, what's the videos, and the all those things we're going to have in here, the stories we're going to tell to get people to ascend through our funnel and eventually up our value ladder, okay? From .com secrets to value ladder. So you have that piece now, and then come back here and then let's just pick one. Don't try to do all of them. Pick the platform you're most comfortable with. So I'm going to do podcasting first. I'm going to go after Instagram first because I love Instagram. I love you. Like, pick one of these channels that you like the most, and then build out your Dream 100 list, and then think, okay, how do I buy my way in? How do I work my way in? And that's the game. Buy my way in, work my way in, and get people over here. Now, this is where people get stressed out about the tactics, right? If I'm gonna buy my way in, or if I'm gonna work my way in, there's strategy in all these, right? Like if I'm gonna run a Facebook ad, I'm gonna buy my way in. How does that work? How do I do the targeting? How do I do like all those things? Those are things I run a huge company. I'm obsessed with this kind of thing. I love traffic. I don't know how to do those things. I've never logged into Facebook and actually set the ads and run them and do the targeting. I just know, like, okay, here's the hook story offer I'm going to use on Tony Robbins' audience. I give them that stuff, do all the targeting, and then people can figure it out. And then tell me the numbers. Let me know, run this for 3 days, and let me know how much it costs to sell a book, or Instagram or YouTube. So those are the tactical things that you can hire someone on your team and have them learn those things. Or you can hire an agency, or if you want to learn, you can. And inside the members area, we're going to give you guys some of the resources that will teach you the tactical things. But the tactics change all the time. So I don't want you stressing too much about that, because for most of you guys, unless you want to become someone who's full-time is driving traffic, you don't want to worry about the tactics that are going to be changing every single day. Facebook, every time I log into Facebook, is different. It's the reason why we don't have tons of video training on here's how to run Facebook ads, because we have to update it every week and then change it again and change it again and change it again. But if you understand this core strategy, like, I don't care what the back end looks like. I just know that I need this hook in front of Tony Robbins' audience. I need this hook in front of Jillian Michaels' thing. I need to go on Jillian Michaels' podcast. I need to, whatever the influencers are. Like, when you understand that, and then you can go to an agency, you can hire someone, they can figure out the details, then it's not that difficult, okay? But this is the key. When you guys understand this strategy and how it works as a whole, that's the magic. That's how we drive tens of thousands of people into our funnels every single day, and how we grow our company as fast as we have, and how you can do it as well. Now, I got one last thing I want to mention, because some of you guys are sitting here and you're a local business and you're saying, Russell, I am a chiropractor in Boise, Idaho. They're not podcasts with my dream customers on. There's not email lists with my dream customer. There's not, and I understand that. So what I want you guys to do, the difference, and we understand this, again, this stuff works for every business. You have to look at it a little differently, make some tweaks and some changes, right? So let's just say I'm a local chiropractor, right? And I am in the, let's say I'm in a strip mall in downtown Boise, and there's like, I don't know, 20 different businesses around me, right? So there's like there's a restaurant, there's a eye doctor, there's a masseuse, there's a bunch of things right there, right? So I gotta look at this a little differently. So again, I gotta look at this different. My customer list is gonna be different than Russell's, right? My customer list is my dead files list. My clients have come in, okay? If you don't have one yet, now you know from today, every single human being who ever walks through your door, you're building a list, getting their name, their email address, you're plugging that into ActionX on ClickFunnels, so you have a list, because that is your most valuable asset, right? So at this point forward, you are going to always gather every single person's information as they come in. You're going to give them free gifts, free books, free prizes, free dinner, free whatever to get their contact information, because that's the most valuable asset you have. I literally worked with restaurants who are on the brink of bankruptcy. I said, okay, give me 7 days. And for 7 days, every single person that comes to the restaurant, I get their name and their email address, or their name and their cell phone number. I collect that for a week. And then what happens is next Tuesday, I'm like, hey, you want to see this thing? You want to see your entire store blow up? And they're like, yeah, check this out. I send an email out, boom, to that list of people who already like the thing. And I give a special offer like, hey, tonight, if you bring a friend into to our restaurant to check it out, we'll give you 2 for 1 or something like that. And all of a sudden, boom, we'll fill up the whole restaurant overnight. We had a pizza place we did this with in the past who was struggling with to sell pizzas. They were like the brink of bankruptcy. And I said, all I want you to do is for 30 days is get the cell phone numbers excuse me, of every single person who buys a pizza from you. So he did that for 30 days, collected it, and I took it, we put it into a database. I said, okay, every day at 4 o'clock, when the person's about to get off work, I want you to text this. We had to set up a text list inside of ActionX. I said, text this message out to him. And the message said, hey, you about to head home today? How would you like for me to make you a pizza? Give me a call right now and I'll have it ready for you by the time you drive by. He'd send that text message out. Within about 30 seconds afterwards, he'd get 15, 20, 30 calls every single time he'd do it. Okay, completely changed his thing because he had his own list. Okay, so whatever company that type of business you're working at, Again, the details would change, but it's the same thing. This is your business, is your customer list, okay? So you're focusing on that. Okay, now again, I am the chiropractor in the strip mall in Boise, Idaho, and you're like, well, Russell, there's not podcasts with my dream people, there's not email lists, what do I do? I'd say, okay, I would stop and I would step outside my front door, I'd look around and say, okay, look at this, there's a massage place, there's a juicing place, there's a restaurant, there's all these places right here that have customers that are coming here. What if I set up something where those people became my Dream 100? What if I went to every single one of those places and said, hey, can I, for every customer that comes into the juice place, say, hey, I want to make a special offer. When people come in, if you can have them throw their name in a card or give them this card that's going to send them to get my free book or my free adjustment or whatever, I'll give you $10 for every single person who redeems this coupon. They're like, sweet. And you go do that for all the different places, all the Dream 100 who already have customers locally around you. Suddenly now, you have all these people who are sending traffic into your business. Does that make sense? It's really simple, it's really easy. Or let's just say I run a food prep company there in town, right? So I have a food prep company, I need customers and clients. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to all of the spas, the trainers, things like that. Those become my Dream 100, and I'm gonna figure out how do I get those people to send all their customers to me so then I can control those customers. I've literally had, we've had people who've gone through the strategy. One was actually a meal prep company. And they went to the personal trainers and said, hey, can we do a deal? And the trainers were like, no, we already have whatever. And so the person said, well, do you have a dead file of lists? And they're like, what does that even mean? Like, all the people in the past that used to come here don't come here anymore. Like, yeah, we have tons of those lists. Like, cool. What if we, can I have that list? And like, what do you mean? Like, well, I'll give you free dinner, I'll give you free meals for a week if you'll just give me your dead files. And be like, sweet, they're all people who don't come anymore. And they literally gave their dead files, gave the only asset that actually matters in a company and gave it to this food prep company. They then took this thing, took the 450 people and started mailing it and boom, filled up their food prep company. And they went to 4 or 5 different trainers and every trainer handed over their dead files because they didn't know the value what they had. Okay, so start thinking outside the box, you guys. You understand this is the strategy. It doesn't care. I don't care if you're a local business, an offline business, an author, a speaker, a network marketer. Like any business you're in, this process works. You just have to think like, okay, instead of, again, we talked about this last time. Instead of like, oh well, this won't work for me. You guys shift it to like, how can this work for me? How can this work for me? And you start thinking, okay, here's the principles, here's the strategies. What would I do if I was Russell? Like, how could this work for me? And you start tweaking it, start changing it, and realize your Dream 100 is not on a podcast. They're locally, or they're the gym owners, or they're the people that run the yoga studios, or they're the people selling juice down the street, or they're whatever your thing might be. Then it becomes simple. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to understand. That's the core concepts behind traffic secrets. This is how you get people into your funnels, how you fill your funnels full of people, is building out Dream 100 lists, figuring out how can I buy my way in, how can I work my way in, understand the whole goal of that is to convert those people from traffic you control and traffic you don't control into traffic that you own. And when you have this, now you have a business. You're building this thing up and people are coming in down here at the bottom of your value ladder from all these things right here. You give them an amazing experience. You blow their mind. You give them the best thing you have and they will naturally want more. They will naturally send up. And the best thing is that they send up your more expensive products in your value ladder. All of these are pure profit because you don't have to pay for the ads again. You don't have to do the show again. You've already built a good relationship with that person. They will continue to buy from you over and over and over again, okay? The coolest thing about this, and this is something people understand, is if somebody buys the first product from you, if they have a good experience, they will continue to buy until one of two things happen. Number one, you offend them, okay? Give them a crappy product, give them a crappy experience. Or number two, you stop selling them products, you stop selling them things, okay? A buyer in motion will continue to stay in motion until you either offend them or you stop selling them things. Okay, when you understand that's like, cool, let me come over here, grab customers, bring them in, give them an amazing experience at the bottom of the value ladder, and if they have an amazing experience, they'll continue to give you money for the rest of your life. The lifetime value of that customer will continue to go on over and over and over again for the rest of your life. That is the magic. When you start shifting your focus from like the technical thing of how to run a Facebook ad to these are human beings. How do I get the human beings who are over here to come over here and then I treat them amazingly well? This is how you grow a company that goes from a million, from wherever you're at to a million, to 10 million, to 100 million, is by extreme focus on understanding this, the customers, the people. This is traffic. This is the only thing that actually matters in your business. And that is how Traffic Secrets works. So I hope that helps you guys. And again, inside the members area, we'll have more training modules that'll show you some of the specific tactics on some of these different networks and how it works. But for you, the biggest key, again, is understanding the strategy. Because when you understand the strategy, it becomes easy now to get people to help you with the tactics. Hope that helps you guys. Thank you again so much for being part of the Funnel Builder Secrets training program. I hope you've loved it. I highly recommend is to go back and watch it from the beginning again. The more times you watch this, the better the strategy is going to make sense in your mind, the more clear it's going to be, and the better you're going to get at it. If you were those person that went through and you binge watched everything because you want to understand everything before you get started, and that's kind of more how I am, I recommend now going back to module number 1 and do what Brandon and Kaylin did, where they clicked play, they watched it for a little bit, they stopped it, and then they went implement it. Click play, watch it, stop it, implement it, and go through the process like that. Because if you do that, we have insane amounts of success stories. People have come through this process. Now you just got to do it yourself. So again, with that said, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a customer. Right now, you are this part of my value ladder, and I've hopefully blown your mind. If you bought a book, you're at the bottom of the value ladder. If you're here in this training, you're probably in the middle of the value ladder, and I want to continue to serve you because there are more things we can do together. There's more coaching programs, there's more software, there's more things that I can do to serve and change your life. But right now, hopefully this blows your mind and gives you just so much value that you will want to continue up our value ladder, and we can serve you at an even higher level in the future. So again, thank you so much, and we'll see you inside the members area.